This map first impressions video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Nordfriesian Marsh. This map is fairly popular in Farm Sim 17, and looking back it looked like this map was also available in Farm Sim 15. I know in 17 this map went through many iterations. There was a version with ditches, which this map does have. There was a non-ditch version, and there were several iterations that had various levels of industry and production in them. Now with this, it is a basic Farm Sim 17 map. We do not yet have fabric scripts or the M company script or anything else that would make production effective, but we do have the basic farming map here, and I have no doubt that this map is going to go through many iterations going forward. But this map has finally declared itself out of beta, so I thought I'd take a look at it and get this video out to you all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So we are going to use our new farmer mode, and let's go ahead and pick up our camera collision and our Mahindra, pull up the log. Now the description says that there are 20 cereal fields and 14 grass fields, 17 selling stations, 2 BGAs, new missions. We'll have to see if we can identify what these new missions are, and lots of places for placeable objects. So as you can see, the map does load up error-free. And here we are. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Come on out here. So you can see we've got fairly sizable cereal fields or crop fields, and then we've got scattered around several grass fields that we could either keep as grass or plow under. If you take a look at the lands section, you can see that we only own the main farm section here in new farmer mode. Now there are several little grass sections that we could purchase for fairly low monies, but we do only own the farmyard itself. Take a look at some of the field prices. Field 1 is $432,000. Field 20 is $130,000. Big old field 19 right across the street is $742,000. Now let's take a look at field 16 is $1,300,000. 12, $1,100,000, and field 4 is just over $1 million. Let's take a look at these sell points, and boy, there are a plenty. Sadly, they are all in, or for the most part, they are all in German, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to properly identify these, especially when we have sell points like this that are so similar in name and appearance. But at any rate, you can see we have many sell points that will take most of our crops. And then there are some very specific sell points for things like fruit crops, cotton, wool, eggs, milk, etc. But there are plenty of sell points for a very price competitive market. On new farmer mode, we have a silo that has a capacity of 100,000 liters, and do have some starting grain in our silos, so we can also use that to help with purchasing some fields. We start with a fair list of starting equipment. Note, none of it is leased, so that is a good thing. There are no starting animals, and we have contracts indeed on this map. So we've got a transport, some harvesting, and some fertilizing. I am curious what it means by new missions. We'll have to check a couple times during our tour and see if we might see what those new missions might entail. So let's take a look at the starting fleet. We start out with 2 tractors, the Fendt 716 Vario and the John Deere 6135M, range in horsepower from 142 to 165 horsepower. We've got the Rottle Smash 330 harvester, with grain header. Got a pair of tippers, a dolly tipper and a trailer style tipper. Got a plow, Vanderstand seeder. The smaller of the two, Breedle pull behind solid fertilized spreader slash lime spreader. Weeder, front mower, forage wagon, weight, grain silo, and our farmhouse. There you can see our farmhouse, and then we've got a few buildings scattered around here, but the buildings are permanent. So when we fire up farm manager mode, you'll notice that the buildings are here, but the silo is gone, as is the farmhouse and equipment. Starting equipment in there. Over there, anybody that's played this map in 17 will basically recognize this very, very easily. Wait there. You have a fuel trigger here. And here we've got our silo. It's just a small silo. These silos back here are simply decorative. Sheds there. And then we've got our harvester over here inside this big building. Here you go. So that is basically the main farmyard area. This is all that we own at the outset. There, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up in farm manager mode. That way you can see that the buildings are gone, at least the silo and the farmhouse is gone, the equipment is gone, and everything. So I'll be right back with you. Alright, we are back in farm manager mode now, and as you can see, the farmhouse is missing, our equipment is gone, and our silo is gone. And if we look at our lands, notice we own nothing now. Used to own this, but now we don't. Now, let's take a look at the BGAs. There are 2 BGAs on the map, and this is a rather interesting way that they have done this. I wanted to explore this a little bit more. So we can buy the BGA itself. Let's zoom in here. So if we buy the BGA for $252,000, we are not purchasing the bunkers, just purchasing the buildings and the sell point there. The bunkers themselves are $15,000 and $39,000. So you're going to have to buy all 3 of these things in order to have the BGA full proper BGA. Now up north here, we've got the BGA North, and again, it's been segmented out. So the BGA proper or itself is $374,000, and then the bunkers associated with it are $40,000. That's something to note, is if you're looking to buy just bunkers, well, you can buy just the bunkers up here and not this whole facility. But if you do want to buy the whole facility, you're going to need to get this and the bunkers themselves. Nice little random patches of land here that you can buy. Or we can, let's see, there it is. You can buy pretty much for almost $5 million, kind of this scattering around of areas. There are lots of little plots that can be purchased. Pretty interesting how they've carved out this particular map. Sure. All right. And then viable forest areas up here. All right, so let's go ahead and get our Mahindra. And the shop is right here. So, interesting enough, the repair trigger is inside this building. And when I was looking at this map earlier, I noticed that the trigger appears to be floating a bit. Zoom out here, we can kind of see See the lines of the trigger right here? It's floating. So I'm a little concerned that if we buy, if we bring back, let's say, some forks or something low and put it in there, that maybe it would be too low and not recognized by the sales trigger. So that is something to maybe be a little bit aware of. Here is our vehicle spawn. Go ahead and zoom out and just take a little glance around the place. For the most part, the map is fairly flat. Many of the fields are bordered by basically trenches or waterways. I believe in the description they are described as dikes and ditches. Alright, what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and, well, let's try to figure out how we're going to tackle this map. Because there's a lot going on. There are a bunch of sell points. Guess let's just head on out here and see. Let's go down south. Just work our way around that way. Guys, let me know. Have you all played any previous version of this map from 15 or 17? I don't know if it goes back further back than 15, but I can tell you that we are going to see scattered around the map some fairly low low quality textures that is pretty evident of the map's prodigy, or not pretty evident of the map's overall conversion factors being brought in from a few different iterations back. It would be nice to see some of these textures get updated to more modern, higher quality textures, because when you get into certain areas of the map, you really feel like you're all of a sudden in a completely different quality of map. So here we've got the standard Farm Sim 19 BGA. We have a couple extra bunkers in here. So instead of just having 2, we now have 4 bunkers. See the chaff indicator there and there. Now on these large bunkers, we get the chaff indicator way out here. So the trigger is way out here. So hoping that doesn't run into problems with compaction. Okay. Those. Then of course we've got the digestate right there under the pipe. BGA does have a few buildings here where we can store equipment should we decide to make this our home base. We move further down this way. You can see some of these low-res buildings that I was talking about. They really do show their age when you start getting up close to them. Here we have the bioheating plant. This is where you're going to be bringing your wood chips to sell, or at one of the places bring your wood chips to sell. Got one of the viable forests here in the back, and that can be purchased in different segments. And then we've got our traditional sawmill here from Felsburn, I believe. The log purchase trigger that we've got to get out. It are at the explanation point. Down here. At the forest a little bit. Map is pretty much bordered by water, as opposed to other maps where you've got kind of a mountainy area, or you've got a big wall of trees. This map basically just have as if we're on a giant island. So here is another one of those areas with really, really low quality textures. Kind of wish that we would get these updated a bit with respect to the building, stump grate, and everything. I mean, we've kind of stepped it up a little bit with the material usage on bin, but then this building here is, well, it's just been around maybe a little bit too long. Let's see here, where are we at now? This is the refinery. Refinery with an IE takes canola and sunflowers. That is all that they take. See that a lot of this is still set up as if there were production. So this would have been like a fuel refinery. Got everything still set up. So in theory, once the fabric script or the imp company script or whatever the new FarmSim 19 variant of that capability is comes into play, then lots of these buildings will be able to be converted over fairly quickly into production without really affecting too much of the map. It's that big old field 4, quite an interesting shape. Here is another one of those large multi-buildings. It's a brewery, I believe, how it's supposed to be set up. And if we look around, we can see, again, indications that this had maybe a former life with production going on. As if this is where pallets of cases of beer come from. This is where pallets need to be dropped off. This is maybe where we get pallets of kegs of beer or whatever. Like I said, this is not production. This is just a standard agricultural map. But since it was a convert over from 17, and in its latest iteration in 17, it was very much a production-laden map. A lot of that production facility has still been left in here, with the anticipation that production will return Farm Sim at some point, and when it does, then this map will be versioned, and there will be a production equivalent. But many of the facilities that are still on the map will remain, just be converted over into a form of production. On up here, check out next building. Again, we've kind of got this mixture of low textures going on. Now, bakery. Leave what that is supposed to be. And they accept our wheat, barley, oats, and sunflowers, as well as eggs and milk. If we get out, we can see we've got really bad textures here on the ground. Not the greatest textures and lighting here on the building. Then we've got, what really then stands out is dump point and the wall. Stone wall really stands out compared to this and the building itself. Kind of wish that they would have taken a little bit of time to put in different buildings from 19, or found a way to maybe upscale these textures so that they just don't look so aged. Additional potential for industry there. Nothing going on in that particular. You have train tracks, but I don't think that we have any trains running through here. If we tab, we don't have the ability to tab into any. Say this map may be a little unfriendly with the helpers, given the fields with the ditches. You may find some helpers stranded in the ditches. Here we've got 3 sell points. First one here is a sell point for wood chips, which is actually in here. Sell point trigger is right in here. Down. Come back this way. We've got another dump point right here. And check out the name of this one. This is the Hoffen, and this is the Zell soft brick. Okay, so the Hoffen takes all of our main crops, as well as our potatoes and sugar beets and sugar cane, and then the Zell brick, majorly butchering that, I'm sure, is for wood chips. Then the third sell point that's up here in this area, we're actually going to have to access it from a different route. But it is a sugar factory, and it accepts sugar beet and sugar cane. Over there. Very careful not to down in the ditch. Come through here, and then this is the traditional sugar factory that we've seen in so many different maps in 17. Here, way around, and then this is the dump point. Sugar cane and sugar beets. Make our way out of the factory, by winding around. Hey, here. Go. And let's make our way up here to the BGA North. Are some pretty large fields, to say the least, on this map. That's for sure. In 17, I played this map for a little bit. I wanted to get into it, but I never really could get drawn in map. I think it was probably because there was just some other stuff came out that really drew my attention a lot more. This one did. Here we've got the North BGA. We've got our Silo King. We've got our 2 bunkers. Now remember, with these BGAs, we're buying the bunkers and the BGA itself separate. So when we buy the whole facility, we don't get the bunkers. We have to buy the bunkers and the facility. Or we could just buy the bunkers so we could come in here and dump, should we so wish. Looking for the digestate trigger on this, and I'm guessing it's right here. There is the post. That little thing right there is the digestate trigger. Pull your tank up. You're intersecting that. Fill your digestate. Let's see here. So many places yet to go. Let's figure out. Let's double back and catch these three, then make our way back up this way. Thought we do that. There we've got our soccer field. I knew there was a soccer field on this map. I don't know if it came over in conversion or not, but it does appear that it has come over. I think this is Lindy. Dell. It is also a sell point for our eggs. That is it. It's dropping eggs off at the grocery store, basically. Wind our way through town. The town here is probably, you're going to see the textures the most, as we have spattering of Farm Sim 19 buildings, and then a spattering of 17 and 15, and who knows, maybe even older buildings to make up the town itself. I have no doubt that at some point the map will be updated to provide some higher level textures to the rest of the facilities. Got another sell point. Looks back. Dump point for the EDEKA. Oh, and they are a buy point for eggs as well. So it looks like, I guess these are both grocery stores. And they only take eggs. At least in this iteration of the map. Down here and check out the Bahnhof. We'll swing up to the Aral, or Ariel. That is a gas station, I know. And let's just drive around in cab just for a little bit. Get to experience the map from this perspective. Check that out. So, got kind of a "you are here" map of the map itself. I'll let you you go to a place you might see scattered around the town or the tourist area, kind of maps of the area. So that's pretty interesting to see. Got our sell point there. Have a train and a car stored in the pretty interesting. Make our way up here over to the east side of the map. There is one of our fuel points and a big old hill. Let's get you a little air. Now that hill is a bit exaggerated. Sure, so careful when you are taking that with speed, or if you've got maybe an underpowered tractor, you may find yourself stalled out at the top trying to climb the hill. This one, and slow down, or you're gonna take flight and find yourself in garden center. Speaking of the garden center, that is where we will be selling our hay, straw, and grass right there. Sell trigger for that. Around back here, we have yet another sell point. Just so many places to sell your wares on the map. Yeah, now. Oh, the Tonki is there. That's just another gas station. Check that out on my way around earlier before I started the recording. Just skip that and make our way down south. Get a couple more sell points and the animal dealer and call ourselves done for the day. Full bridge. Got a dump point. And let's see what these two places offer. Basically our Frisian and the Frisian will take our sugarcane, sugar beets, potatoes, and our main crops. And place across the street is going to basically be a sell point for silage, hay, straw, and grass. Okay. It's like it's right here. It's like it's a what? Dump it, and then it goes in some bins. I don't know what they do. Horse training facility, a little barn. And we're coming up on our animal dealer here. The animal dealer is right here to purchase your animals. And now we've got just two more places to take a look at. And as we come over here, I want to say, let me know what you think of the map in the comments. Also, let me know if there are any other maps out that you see be interested in. Don't send me links to the maps, just give me the names of the maps, and I'll go look them up. So, let me know. But yeah, if you send me a link, I'm more apt to delete the link, just because I don't want to be pointing to other maps in other map videos, for one thing. And then, okay, so here's the sell point right here. And then oftentimes I'll be able the link you'll give me, not that you're not looking for the right place, but oftentimes it will be one of the relinked sites. So I'll go try to see if I can't find or original link. And I want to make sure that it is not a beta map. That is something I really try to not put videos in. So guys, that is Nordfriesian March. Let me know, like I said, in the comments what you think of the map. Let me know what you think of the video overall. And if you liked the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you're not a subscriber, think about going ahead and subscribing. We've got plenty of map videos to put out in the future as more and more maps come out for Farm Sim 19. We also put out plenty of mod reviews and Let's Play videos and live stream. So until next time, Happy farming.